Hi guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video, I'll be giving you my super spoiler-filled, mostly enthusiastic review for the latest dinosaur epic that has graced us starting tonight, Jurassic World Dominion. Very satisfying. Now, before I get into all of that and I talk too long for too much, of course, please be warned, this is a spoiler, and I mean spoiler-filled review. So, if you have not seen Jurassic World Dominion yet, and you plan to watch it either tomorrow night or some point later this weekend, do not keep watching or listening to this video, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Now, let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying this is not a perfect movie. You know, the early word was quite mixed with the initial reactions and reviews. I don't know if it was half and half, but I do feel like reviews were mixed at best. And thankfully, all the reviews I read were spoiler-free. But after watching this film, while I don't agree with them, I can certainly understand why people don't like this movie. It definitely has its flaws, and there's some moments that feel kind of odd or out of place. But overall, I feel like it's a very engaging, very exciting, and of course, super satisfying movie in general. You won't be bored watching it. It's a spectacle. You know, it's a spectacle of a film. This is a large-scale, global adventure story with tons of dinosaurs and great character moments and some excellent nostalgia. So overall, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Of course, I might be just a little biased, but it's certainly not a perfect film. It's not the best Jurassic World film. I believe the first Jurassic World film is the best Jurassic World film. I enjoyed Fallen Kingdom and Dominion just fine, but that first Jurassic World film, mwah, beautiful, beautiful stuff. But this movie had some pretty great moments too, so let's talk about them. First and foremost, so great seeing the OG trio together again. Oh, it was so exciting to see Ellie and Alan and, of course, the amazing Ian Malcolm all together again. I was so happy. Oh, it was so great. And I got literal chills when they met the new trio cast of Owen and Claire and Macy. I was so excited. Well, they all kind of met Macy already, but I was so excited, and I got literal goosebumps as these the original three met our new duo of Claire and Owen, and that was so exciting and satisfying to watch. I loved the new gorgeous dinosaurs throughout this movie. I loved how dinosaurs were all over the world, and we got a seedy underworld thing going on where people are cooking and eating dinosaurs as like barbecue, which looks pretty good, by the way, and like making dinosaurs fight each other in cage matches and betting on them and whatnot. And of course, smuggling and animal trafficking now just applies to dinosaurs as well, unfortunately. So that was very exciting. Some very cool moments, throughout this film. Like I said, not a perfect movie, but it definitely keeps your attention from beginning to end. At least it did for me. There were some odd moments, like when our characters are facing off against the Giganotosaurus, and it's very slowly working towards them with occasionally snapping at them. I feel like it would be moving a lot faster and a lot more like argh, argh type of thing, but it moved a little slow, but it allowed them to get to safety, I guess. I do love how Malcolm kind of redeemed himself by properly distracting it with a flare instead of doing it stupidly like he did in the first Jurassic Park film. Oh, God, and Malcolm was so funny in this movie. I figured he was working with Biosyn intentionally just to get the dirt on him, especially when Ramsey reached out. So I figured that was the case when they said he was working with or at Biosyn. I'm like, there's a twist here, and he's not really with them. He's just trying to bring them down from within, and certainly that was a part of it. I also like the fact that the threat to humanity didn't necessarily come from dinosaurs. It came from animals fused with dino DNA, which were the locusts. And locusts could in very real life present a very scary threat to us, which is they could feed on our grain and our livestock and could plunge the world into a very real famine. Of course, in this case, the stakes were much higher because the locusts were much bigger. And I love the locusts too. They look like big, scary-ass bugs, and that was awesome. They were awesome looking. So I get that they went in the direction of, well, dinosaurs can't really threaten humanity on a global scale, so let's do something that's dinosaur-esque on a global scale that would threaten humanity, which would be a food famine or shortage. And in this case, it would be locusts that were just fused with dino DNA. And so I liked that. I thought that was pretty cool. And I liked how scary the locusts looked too. But they didn't take the locusts, despite being the threat in the film, it didn't take away from the threat of the Giganotosaurus and Dodgson. And I was great seeing Dodgson again too. Different actor, because unfortunately the other actor from the first Jurassic Park landed into a hot of mess of legal trouble, shall we say. But it was great seeing Dodgson again after all these years, and I absolutely love the fact that not only did he get his comeuppance, but he got his comeuppance with the one dinosaur species I was hoping was going to kill him. And I was so happy when I heard the chirping noise and the chittering of the Dilophosaurus. I'm like, yes, of course the Dilophosaurus is going to be the one to do him in. He's the one who set Nedry on the path that ultimately led to his death at the claws of the Dilophosaurus. And of course, Dodgson is going to die exactly the same way. I was so happy. It was a great moment where the villain got his comeuppance, and oh, so satisfying to watch. And speaking of satisfying, we may not have gotten much of a fight between Rexy and Giganotosaurus, which was very much teased throughout the trailers, and we kind of got a cool little fight. But when I realized that Blue was only going to be in the beginning and ending of the film, I'm like, shoot, I guess no team-up scene for Rexy. I guess she's going to have to take her on alone. Oh, but was I wrong? And I suspected this was going to be the case where, well, if Blue's not going to help Rexy, some other dinosaur is going to lend a hand. And sure enough, it was that weird-looking herbivore, I think, but with deadly claws, Therizinosaurus. And as soon as they started roaring at Giganoto together, and when Rexy slammed her into Therizinosaurus, impaling it on the claws, I was like, yes, fuck yeah, Rexy still has it after all these years. She is such a cool, badass bitch and an overall queen who should be worshipped. Oh, that was satisfying to watch. So like I said, not a perfect film in any way, shape, or form, but damn entertaining. If you like dinosaurs, if you like the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies, this movie is for you. I think you will thoroughly enjoy it, and it is by far not the worst entry in the franchise. You know which one I think is the worst entry in the franchise, guys? Jurassic Park 3. And there are parts of Jurassic Park 3 I like very much, but overall, my least favorite Jurassic Park film. All the others I thoroughly enjoy and rewatch. Jurassic Park 3, I never rewatch because I don't really care for it. But boy, this movie, I can understand why it's getting all the hate that it's getting, but I don't think it deserves nearly as much of the hate as it is getting, if that makes sense. Such a satisfying movie. And, it was long, but it kept my interest. And I loved how it was so large scale, too, with so many dinosaurs in so many different settings and environments. Interesting, charming characters that kept your interest, characters you were rooting for, whether it was the OG cast or part of the newer cast. I was just happy that everybody was so likable, and Dodgson was just so unlikable. Well, he was still likable, but you wanted to see him get his comeuppance, and sure enough, he did, and it was extremely satisfying to watch. Such a fun movie. Well, it pretty much satisfied my expectations, and I was just a little bummed that Blue kind of got sidelined throughout most of the film, although she did appear in some pretty good moments in the beginning and end of the film, and her little baby were so cute together. I loved that. So overall, very much enjoyed this movie. We'll definitely be seeing it several more times. I know, what a shocker. Ed enjoyed a Jurassic World film. Ooh. What do you expect, guys? Come on. See the shirt? Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, and I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this movie as much as I did. What were your thoughts and feelings on it? I'd love to hear them down below in the comments section. Thanks so much for watching again. Jurassic World Dominion is now playing in theaters. Check your local listings for times. Have a great night, everybody, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.